Wide pinch on the apex of that blue volume ahead of him. He's trying to match, deciding against it. A little bit unsure of himself here, Dimitri. Nice static approach there, managed to get the left foot up. Still a little bit of a tricky move. Smearing. No, he's found a little crease there actually on the wall. This is good at the moment. Is he going to go up for that next clip from here, or are we going to... No, he's going up again with the left. Could get a heel hook there on a hold. You can see just above him on the right for his right foot, if he needs it for support. No, he's switching feet, doing a drop knee instead to give him a little bit of support there instead. So for those of you that are just joining us, welcome back. We're here at the semi-final stage. Oh, and a fall there. A fantastic effort there for Dmitry Fakiryanov. Managed to get an undercling with the right hand. It was moving up to one of the holds in that cluster to the left that caught it for him. A bow to the crowd to say thank you. Great effort to start off the men's semi-finals here. A nice high standard to move on from. Welcome if you are just joining us on the live feed. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of a brief technical issue at the start there. We seem to have got that fixed now, so hopefully you should all be with us. And we have been recording since the start as well, so you should be able to see that one in post. So yes, here we are. We're in Arco. We're covering the lead semi-finals for you. We then have the speed finals a little bit later on, and then the lead finals as well, still to come today. So all of that ahead. We now wait for our next two athletes out. So these are 11 athletes in the men's, 11 athletes in the women's. So a short semi-finals here. Our next athletes out will be Klemen Becin of Slovenia up against Katarina Posch of Austria. Katarina, known on the World Youth Circuit just recently. We saw her climbing there. She's been doing the World Youth for quite a few years, but also has been competing at the senior level for a few years now as well, both bouldering and lead. And Klemen Becin, predominantly a boulderer, but here he is having a try at the lead as well. We'll be seeing those two athletes coming out in just a few moments' time. I can see all the athletes in isolation. Jakob Schubert back there, Jenny Levada. Just to give you a breakdown then of who we're waiting to see and who's going to be with us throughout the day in the semi-finals here. We have Dmitry Fakiryanov, then Klemen Becin, then Francesco Vettorata, Domen Skofic, Stefano Gazolfi, Mario Lechner, Magnus Midtbo, Sean McCall, Jakob Schubert, Sachi Ama and Ramon Julian Pigblanc in the men's semi-finals. Those are the athletes that are in the top 11 to qualify. In the women's then, we have Risa Ota, who just had an early fall on the women's route here. Katarina Posch, as I mentioned, will be next. Then it's Maya Vidmar, followed by Evgenia Malamid, Dinara Fakritinova, Ellen Janiko, Mina Markovic, Kim Yain, Mathilde Becerra, Jenny Levada and Akio Noguchi. Those are our athletes in the women's that we're waiting to see a little bit later on. 10 more still to come, and in a moment we'll be bringing out our next athlete. Welcome to Arco, welcome to the RockMaster. We'll be covering everything from here till we finish up later on this evening. If you want to get in touch with us, you know where to go. Head on to Twitter, use the hashtag IFSCWC. I will keep checking that as often as I possibly can. And hopefully you guys are all doing well and you're all ready to go as we move through the rest of the day. So, not entirely sure what's happening here. Looks like we're having a bit of a discussion on the ground. Angelo moving around with some of the officials, and we now have the thumbs up. That looks like it's been confirmed. We can move on with our next set of athletes. Katarina Posch now out on the right-hand side, the blue route, and Klemen Betchen on the left. Katarina for Austria, Klemen for Slovenia. We are about to welcome our next two athletes onto the stage. Nice crowd gathered here, all lounging in the sun behind me. Slumped out on blankets and mats on the grass, with a perfect view of the wall in front of them in this beautiful valley here in Arco. So here we are, Klemen Betchen and Katarina Posch move out for their semi-final climb. A nice high point here so far for Dmitry Fakirinov. Katarina Posch. High point on the women's around the 12th hold. 13th plus is Risa Ota's first score. Katarina trying to beat that now. Klemen Betchen has Dmitry Fakirinov to deal with, who's set a high point of 37 at this point of the competition. 37, the high point for the men.
Katarina Posch, 19-year-old. We've seen her at the second place here in Arco in 2010. I think the first time she was here, really very good. Second place for her in the Youth World Championship in Canada some weeks ago. Second place also in the Euro Youth Championship in Minster this year. A lot of good results and a good position also in the provisional ranking of the World Cup Team 2013.
Klemen Betchen currently on the 11th hold. Katarina Posch already moving into the lead, surpassing the 14th, now moving into the roof here. Got a hand into that little pocket, up and over to the next one. She got a pinch up ahead of her and then a nice volume to get a nice wide pinch on. No real moment so far that she's going to be able to get a decent rest in though. She could have the possibility of a knee bar up about the same again if she climbs the next roughly 18 holds. There's a possibility for a rest there, and there's another one up towards the roof. So the female route does have a couple of rests. Clement's finding one here by wedging his head into the corner of the wall at the roof. Katarina on this second lip here. Got a pinched pocket there with the left hand. Racing between the two and up with again with the next left hold. Still no moment to take a second and shake out the hands. Really crimpy midsection here. Very tough. You can see she's got a shake going in her legs at the moment. Starting to look a little bit pumped here. Klemen really taking his time on this undercling on the first roof. Katarina has the next hold. Next clip as well. Gets another undercling here. She's trying to use her legs to get a bit of extra support while she grabs a bit more chalk here. Klemen now moving on to the midsection of the lower part of the wall. Going to go up to a sloper now with his left hand. It's a little bit juggy actually, that sloper. He's got something to work with there at least. Up now with the right to that pinch just above him. Or he could reach right up above it and use his three middle fingers to, like Dmitry did. Unfortunately, no, Klemen falls there with a score of 21. So the high point is still 37 at the moment for the men's route. Katarina Posch is up around the 29th hold. So she's more than doubled the score we had earlier in the day from Risa Ota. Still 9 more competitors to come after this point. Katarina looking like she's just hit a second wind for a moment then. As long as she's careful here, she might be okay. And this is the point I was talking about, possibly having a little bit of a rest. She's trying to do a drop knee. If she moves over again, which she is doing, it's looking like she's not wanting to rest here at all. Is she going to take a moment? Grab a bit of chalk at least. Yeah, a little bit of a shake here. But no, not long to rest there at all. She's carried on pushing up. There's another point here on the roof, as you can see that yellow pyramid that's attached to the roof. When she gets out onto that one, if she does, no, a little bit of an uncomfortable position to be in there. Sort of almost a Gaston and hanging out from the roof. She's not happy with that one at all, but with a score of 32, she's currently the point runner. 32, the new high point here. Dmitry Takiryanov with 37, still holding the high point for the men's. Risa Otto with a score of 13 plus, unfortunately after an early fall. Klemenbetchin with a 21. Our next two athletes then, Francesco Vettorata of Italy, and next to him will be Maja Vidmar of Slovenia. Our next two athletes, I can see them starting to move around now. It's looking like in a moment we'll have the okay and we can carry on. So here we are, Francesco Vettorata, a lot of support from the Italians on the ground, climbing here on his home turf, making it through into the semi-finals alongside Jenny Lavada, the other Italian athlete that we'll be seeing a little bit later on here. We also have Stefano Gazolfi in the men's. Good turnout here for the Italian athletes. We've got the home crowd behind them. Quick to start here, Vettorata. As is Maja Vidmar. They're not waiting around much at all. They've had their observation time. The athletes allowed to come to the front of the wall and have a little look at what they're dealing with here. So they know what they're getting themselves into.
Che ben conosce il RockMaster e il RockMaster conosce bene Maja per le sue grandi prestazioni, seconda nel 2007, una seconda nel 2008 e poi sempre lì anche nei campionati mondiali e Coppa del Mondo, un atleta che non ha mai smesso di uscire dalle prime 10 posizioni al mondo.
Maja nice and controlled here at this early section. This is around the point Risa Ota run into difficulties. Hopefully she won't. Maja with the old finger injuries as well, remember, and a lot of this start-up section for the female route here is based on pocketing with your fingers, relying on them. There's a pocket up in the roof in a moment, a turquoise one she's about to reach up for with the right hand in a moment. Heavily reliant on finger strength here, so hopefully she's feeling up to it. Heel hook with the left. Nice and quick over to the next one. Quick to take her fingers out of that pocket, rely on that left hand. Here is a rest point. This is a point the female athletes can relax a little bit and take their time. Francesco Vettorata taking his time as well. A little bit of a shake in his left leg at the moment, but it's not too bad. He doesn't look too pumped just yet. Maja Vidmar unfortunately falling as she goes out for that turquoise volume to the left-hand side. So a score there of 18 from Maja Vidmar. Still with Francesco Vettorata. Wait to see how he gets on here. A little bit unsure of what he's doing here. He's managed to just about hold on to that with his right. This next hold's a good one, so he should be okay on this. Got to go a little bit higher. There you are. Left hand securing it. And he can take a little bit of time now. Got a heel hook in here. Straight up to the next. Not waiting around here, Francesco. A little bit shaky on that the move before last. But he's still powering on. Up around to the erect now. Dimitri had a nice long rest when he got up onto the next hold. Is Francesco going to do the same? No, he's resting here at the moment. Crowd are loving this at the moment. A little bit of a shaky moment there for him again on the erect. And yes, he's doing the same as Dimitri. He is taking a rest there. He's not going to push on too quickly. And this is the right tactic to be using here, considering he was a little bit shaky on a couple of moves prior to this. Just a couple of shakes with the arms make all the difference there for him. Slow and steady.
Francesco Vettorata in azione.
Hand up to the pinch. These next couple of moves could be tricky if he doesn't sort his feet out a little bit. This next one definitely. Crossing over with the left to take the pinch. Good, he's got his foot up. That gives him a little bit extra here. Next move as well, a little bit tricky. No, he's come down there as well. That's a tough point to end up in there. I mean, you can get that toe in to the splat circle volume, the red one that you got his foot onto a moment ago, but after those couple of shaky moments, knowing that you've got to go up quite a big push with your feet and your arm, your left arm, up to that next hand hold on the right, a little bit shaky for him. Unfortunately coming down there, Francesco Vettorata with a 31. Our next two athletes, Evgenia Malamid, up next to Domen Skovic. Domen Skovic, the young youth athlete, has been making a bit of a name for himself on the senior circuit since the end of last year. Atlanta, the big one that he made the finals in, but he seems to keep getting there. Saw him in Briançon this year as well. Up there with the next athlete we're going to see shortly as well, Stefano Gazolfi. Both of those athletes putting on a great performance, a nice increase in their capabilities over the past year or so. And then competing on the senior level. Evgenia Malamid, the dark horse of the female competition, the one that always seems to make it through more often than not, gets through into the finals on the World Cups. But I never seem to see her doing it. It seems to just be, oh, she's in the final again. Made a mental note this year to pay a bit more attention to Evgenia Malamid. I don't know whether it's that she must always be climbing with one of the higher ranked athletes at the same time with the boys, and maybe I'm focusing on the boys route, I'm not sure. But a fantastic climber. She's about to join us on the women's route, the blue route on the right hand side, and she'll be next to Domen Skovic on the red route on the left. So just a few moments, we'll be underway with our next athletes.
I prossimi gladiatori nell'arena del RockMaster. We are ready to announce the next climbers, the next gladiator of the climbing arena of RockMaster 2013.
Ready. Vedo gli atleti stanno entrando and Domen Skovic from Slovenia. Evgenia Malamid, Russia.
So Evgenia Malamid and Domen Skovic out on the wall now. High point for these two routes at the present moment in time lie with Katarina Posch with a 32 on the women's and a 37 with Dmitry Fakiryanov of Russia on the men's. Domen definitely want to challenge him, though they challenge each other at the World Youth as well.
Squadra che da sempre porta un team agguerrito e ricco di forti presenze sia al femminile come al maschile. Domen è uno di questi giovanissimi usciti dalla buona scuola slovena. Insieme a lui a destra on the right Evgenia, Russia, born in 1987 in a world ranking, in World Cup 2030, third in una terza posizione, third place in RockMaster 2012.
So a very slow and steady start for both of these athletes. They're really taking their time here getting to grips with the wall and the routes that they're facing. Domen looking very calm, Evgenia as well, but she's moving through a tricky section here.
I remember very well Evgenia Malamid was a surprise last year, entering the final phase of the RockMaster competition from the Open and ending at the third place in the final ranking. Really good RockMaster 2012, striving to repeat herself, to repeat once again and do, if possible, something better. Evgenia Malamid from Russia, an 8th place for her and provisional ranking of the World Cup circuit 2030, 7th place in the world ranking. She knows very well the holds of peace, climbing the wall, and she goes to have a representation also.
Partita decisa e determinata con un ritmo incalzante, pur trattandosi di una salita on side.
And the young Slovenian Domen Skovic.
Si merita un applauso. Noi non aggiungiamo altro, ma per il pubblico che si sta godendo lo spettacolo. Bella questa solution.
Da seguire, tutto da vedere.
E così bisogna anche guardare un po' più avanti quello che arriverà tra poco. Intanto ritorna la benzina nelle braccia, si ritorna nuovi e poi via di nuovo, caccia di affidi rossi per chi sale a sinistra. Il maschile azzurro.
Evgenia looking good here, looking a lot better than Katarina was looking at this point on the wall. As long as she doesn't make any slips or sudden mistakes, she's looking strong, pushing up to the further section. Domen really taking his time on this one. He knows it's a long route. For the boys, they have to move out over the roof in a little while as well. It's going to take their time for them.
sfondo azzurro e il colodrila che sta caldo al sole mentre noi ci godiamo la salita di questa From Side. Ricordiamo solo 8 andranno avanti di questi 11 alla linea di partenza, questa prova lead. From Side che poi si tramuterà per i magnifici 8 in un lavorato. Nel tardo pomeriggio avranno modo di assaggiare le prese con cautela e osservazione mirata per poi rientrare questa sera quando noi ci saremo tutti dal primo all'ultimo pronti a...
So then, Domen moving up to a good point here for himself. He's got roughly 6-7 more moves before he's challenging Dmitry Fakiryanov for the high point. As long as he can keep his cool here, he's got to get that foot up now into this little pocket. Left foot up and then up with the next left hand over. There you are, left foot up. Great climb there for Evgeny Amalamid, but unfortunately a fall. Very similar point to the one that we saw Katarina Posch falling in earlier on.
To try again herself on the RockMaster climbing wall and to do it possible better than last year's when she was third.
So Evgenia back down again on the ground. Domen pushing up to this new high point for us now. Then he's up towards the arete. Can he make these next few moves? He's now pushed ahead of Dmitry. Awkward position to be in here. A lot of compression with that right arm and between the left hold. Switching his feet a little bit. Gaston and the roof. Heel right up into the corner as well there. Looking good. The crowd are right behind him. Nice undercling moment there to rest for a while if he wants it. Yep, he's grabbing a bit more chalk before pushing on. He's looking good here at the moment. Big swing out there. Incredible shoulder strength there to hold that for as long as he did before moving up. Got a toe hook round with the left now into a new section of the wall. Incredible finger strength here from Domen Skofic. This is a performance and a half. Brilliant, brilliant effort there from Domen. It puts him back up into the lead. 45, the new high point in the men's, 45.
Domen Skofic, ancora lì che ci sta pensando, davanti c'è Katarina Posch, ma Domen Skofic, really a good climb for the young Slovenian. See you this evening, Domen.
Gruppo sulla classifica parziale, primi 4 atleti, molto bene, alta la prova di questo giovanissimo sloveno, scalata bella, fluida, ragionata, come serve sull'onside per provare a guadagnare metri.
Salgono le emozioni, si rivela quello che è RockMaster Festival, si rivela quello che è la prova Leeds, incredibile la climbing arena di Arco, incredibile quello che riescono a tirar fuori dalle braccia dei nostri climbers, i nostri mitici tracciatori.
Sì, una bella linea, adesso abbiamo iniziato a gustare ancora qualche appiglio in più.
So our next two athletes about to come out now that Domen has finished setting a new high point there of 44 plus. Actually, they've taken his score back to 44 plus. Our next athletes will be Dinara Fakhretdinova, our new European champion of league climbing in the women's. She'll be coming out onto the right-hand route, the blue route. And next to her, Stefano Ghisolfi of Italy. So expect to hear a lot of noise from the crowd gathered here behind us. Quite a few well-known athletes that are competing in the bouldering just sort of lounging around behind us as well. Christopher Parsons came over and said hello a moment ago. And we're just waiting now for the AOK to bring the next few athletes out.
Pronti? Via! The next...
Sento le mani sull'applauso al nostro Stefano Ghisolfi, Italia.
E adesso sì che vi sentiamo.
Insieme a lui, from Russia, Dinara Fakhretdinova.
E allora lascio te raccontare meraviglie viste, Paolo, mentre io racconto qualcosa di Dinara, ma la conosciamo bene, we know her very very well in Arco, winner of the Tour 2012, ha vinto il duello lo scorso anno Dinara, veramente fantastico vederla di solito sulla parete qui di Arco, quando danza, fa le prese con la leggerezza di una farfalla, dancing like a butterfly, like a classic dancer between the holds.
So here we are, our next two athletes out on the wall now. Stefano Ghisolfi on the left-hand side, Dinara Fakhretdinova on the right. Another of the Russian athletes to make it through to the semi-finals. Let us know what you think of these routes as well. Get in your opinions onto the Twitter. The men's is a nice interesting one. The women's has an interesting section up towards the top and a very difficult or a tricksy start at least. Very quick to sap your endurance at the beginning in the fingers. There's a second section very similar to it, a little bit higher up as well, just past this first bulge in the wall. Stefano looking strong, but quite pumped already at this point. Got into the undercling. Maybe needs to give himself a chance to rest here. He gets a little bit too pumped. This next traverse over to the left-hand side could be really tricksy for him. It is very, very hot here at the venue. The sun's just started to move behind the wall, so hopefully the athletes are going to stay cool. And we'll have a little bit of shade in a moment, so it won't affect the wall too much with the short build-up as we move through our semi-finals. Still have finals yet to come later on this evening. We also still have the speed finals to come for you as well.
In the first position in the Youth Championship, the World Youth Championship. The third place in World 2010, leading Italian Championship, Italian Cup. Now fighting very well also in international cups. Sixth place for him.
So Dinara Fakhretdinova here for Russia has had an incredible change around into this year. She was a borderline finalist all the way through last year, and she suddenly started to push her way not only into finals but also to win Chamonix. And she's coming close a couple of times since then as well. Suddenly become a very, very, very strong competitor in the lead World Cups around the world. Fighting the likes of Mina Markovic, who we'll be seeing a little bit later on. Ghisolfi hugging the arete for a moment there. Right hand up, he's going to match, get those feet up a little bit and then start moving to the right.
more of the dance, very smooth, so movements for Dinara Facchino running up the edge.
And almost the exact same point there that we saw from his teammate Francesco Vettorata. Stefano Gazolfi on that same reach up there with the right hand on the blue pyramid. Dinara Fakhretdinova found a little bit of a point there to rest for a moment. So 31 plus there for Stefano Gazolfi. Dinara Fakhretdinova is currently in third place with 27. So the ones to beat still are Domen Skofic with a 44 plus. That was right up above the roof, the big roof section. Couple of moves up towards the flat on the red route for the men's. And for the women's, it's Katarina Posch still with 39. Fakhretdinova on 29, so a further 10 moves before she starts to push into challenging Katarina.
No, that's one of our climb. Very soft, very smooth, but also very fast and very strong. In the meantime, she showed everything. She showed that last year, winning the Tour 2012. And the Crisi Trophy.
Andiamo a vedere se la forma guadagnata in questa stagione, come hai detto bene, sesta attualmente nel World Ranking con posizioni sempre tra le prime 10. Questo inizio di stagione è arrivata anche fino a qui ad Arco. Prova questa onside che è chiaro si avvicina di più all'abitudine che vivono gli atleti nelle competizioni
Exactly the same point that we saw earlier on from Katarina Posch. Dinara is going to be frustrated with that one then. She might have a lower score actually just because she didn't quite get that other hand secure before moving out across that one. We saw Katarina hold that for a little while then. So currently still Dimitri, the 44 plus, right up at the very top. Dinara Fakhretdinova is currently in second on the women's. Oh no, sorry, Domen Skofic. Domen Skofic with the 44 plus in the men's. Dimitri now in second with the 37. Dinara Fakhretdinova on a 37 plus in second, and Katarina Posch still holding the high point of 39 in the women's. So 39 in the women's is the one to beat, 44 plus for the men's Domen Skofic. At this semi-final stage at Arco for the RockMaster.
Ci sono 11 in questa semifinale, ne rimarranno soltanto 8 per la finale after work, quindi gli ultimi 3 del nostro provisional ranking resteranno a terra, quindi un occhio anche al nostro tabellone con la provisional ranking, la classifica provvisoria aggiornata progressivamente man mano che gli atleti salgono alti sulla via. Ma siamo nemmeno a metà del nostro giro, a metà della nostra prova onside. Everything still best, siamo at the half.
Our next two athletes out then will be Hélène Janicot for France, and with her will be Mario Lechner for Austria. Those are our next two, moving into the just over the halfway point once these two climbers have climbed. For our semi-finals, only 11 of each. 11 men, 11 women here at the semi-final stage in Arco. Hopefully you're all okay back at home. Let us know where you're joining us from. Get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC.
And they are here. And eccoli qua.
So Mario Lechner first to come out, followed very shortly by Hélène Janicot. Our next two athletes move out and get onto the stage.
Austria. competition from France, Hélène Janico.
Sì, altri due giovani atleti partito veramente come un missile. Mario Lechner from Austria.
Mario very quick to start. Ellen going to be right behind him. Hélène Janico, the gold medalist in Briançon last year. Came very close again this year as well, medaling there. Fantastic French athlete, still very, very young. I'm sure Sheila McCarron is watching at some point to see how Ellen gets on here. Avid fan and friend. And Mario Lechner, a member of the Austrian team. Also see him at some of the bouldering competitions as well. Fantastic climber. And here he is at the semi-final stage at Arco. Both athletes moving much, much faster than the previous pair. Dinara took a lot more warming up and time to approach this than Ellen. Ellen's quick to start. Let's hope that energy and power can stay with her as she moves through. No, it can't, is the answer to that question. There you are. Quick answer. Hélène Janico back down on the ground now. After an early fall, unfortunately, she'll be disappointed with that one. You already see that she is there. Unfortunately, the pressure of these athletes to perform at this level is immense, and these are extremely difficult routes set by the setters. Mario Lechner starting to take his time here now, resting on the undercling, not pushing any further.
But today seems to have been not a good day, not good starts in the sky of Valentinico this afternoon in Arco.
Mario with that heel hook now. And unfortunately, no, Mario can't quite hold it either. You can see the annoyance there from him. You can see what they're dealing with. I mean, we'd usually see these athletes at this level. I mean, most of these athletes are usually in the semi-finals at most World Cups. We'd usually see them getting a lot higher than that on the wall before they struggle and have their falling points. And we're seeing a nice spread as well, a nice scatter. A couple of twins in the women's. Dinara at that same point twinned. Also, Mario Lechner and Clement Betchen both came off around the same point in the men's. Dinara and Evgenia Malamid around 37, though Dinara got the plus. And also Maya Vidmar and Hélène Janico, both with an 18 plus as well on there. So there are a couple of pairings, but other than that, it's quite a nice spread. Domin Skofic still leading the way with the 44 plus in the men's. And in the women's, it's still with Katarina Posch with 39 here. Still managing to hold on to the lead. Katarina Posch for Austria. Unfortunately, her teammate Mario Lechner, not a great start for him at all. Unlikely that we'll be seeing him in the three that we see in the finals later on this evening.
With the next climbers, and so the ovation for the winner of the La Sportiva Competition Award.
And next two then, Mina Markovic and Magnus Midtbo. Mina Markovic coming out onto the right-hand route, and Magnus Midtbo on the left, the male route. Magnus then on this kind of route, he's definitely got the power to deal with some of these earlier sloper moves. Definitely the undercling, should move relatively fast through the first section of the wall. It probably starts slowing down around the point we've seen a couple of athletes fall with that right hand reach up onto the blue pyramid. Now if he can make it through that, there's another nice power section in the roof, and he should do quite well here, Magnus. It's just that midsection he's going to have to be a little bit careful of. For Mina Markovic then, she's a boulderer as well as a lead climber. Now she specialises in leads. She's well, ranked #1, and rightly so. She's a fantastic athlete at lead climbing, but she's also very good at bouldering. So there's a section up towards the roof here, and up around the roof, over the lip, and up towards the very top. There's about the penultimate 10, 11 moves are all quite bouldery, and she should be able to rely on them using her endurance from her lead climbing and using her skills from obviously doing the bouldering circuit as well. She shouldn't have too much problem with this early section either. We could be looking at our first top of the day here from Mina if she takes it slow and doesn't rush too much. And this is the first time I've seen her showing off the epic level back muscles in a long time. There they are. You see the shoulder muscles in a moment on Mina when she starts moving. An unstoppable force at lead climbing.
Results for Mina in the last year, winner of the World Cup 2012 and 2011. First place for her in the provisional ranking of the World Cup Circuit 2013 with gold medal in IMSA, silver medal in Briançon, 30 in the European Championship. Second place for her in the European Youth Championship 2013 in Chamonix. Second place in the European Championship in Eindhoven, also in Bulla. So very good results in both specialties for winner marketing. Winner yesterday evening, as we said, of La Sportiva Competition Award for the last seasons. Really always on the top. Mina Markovic climbing today once again in Arco.
Un atleta che è impressionato da sempre, vuoi per le sue masse muscolari, vuoi per i suoi grandi tiri, prima su roccia e poi anche in gara. Attualmente Magnus è ottavo nel World Ranking con una bella sesta posizione nella Coppa del Mondo 2013. Una buona gara di IMST, un po' meno in quella di Briançon, non è riuscita a entrare nei primi 10, ma è sempre lì davanti. Scorso anno in Coppa del Mondo, 13esimo nel 2011, poi una Magnus che tutti conoscono quando si scende dalla preparazione di gara, anche lui a mandare a confrontarsi con la difficoltà.
So Mina moving well here, as is Magnus. Now this is the point that Magnus might start to slow down a little bit.
Lui stesso ha contribuito a chiodare a realizzare grandi.
Take his time over the next, say, 8 moves around this blue pyramid up towards the roof. Mina moving well here, looking very secure. As long as there aren't any slips here, she's still looking good.
On the rocks in Norway.
So as you can see, Magnus Midtbø taking his time now. He's got into that section where he has slowed down a little bit. He's taking some time to grab a bit of chalk, sort his feet out, shake out the arms a little bit. Now he's pulling up to the next section. He's going to have to be a bit careful here through these next 3 moves before pushing up towards the roof. Mina Markovic, on the other hand, no slowing down so far. Nice steady progress. And she's going to have to be careful in these next couple of sections, but her shoulder muscles and the endurance that she's got should allow her to move through this roof with relative competency. Magnus managing to do that using his power alone. As you can see there, he didn't spot that foothold with the left until very, very late on. He's got the wrong hand up on there now. He's going to have to come back, rely on the foot. He's going the other way. He's changing the beta, and there you go. That's what we were thinking about a moment ago. That's a tricky section for Magnus to get into there. It's a very powerful climber. That's a little bit of a couple of technical moves there. slowing him down a little bit. You can see the power in him there, just pulling himself up without the feet, 2 hands matched, running into a bit of difficulties there. So unfortunately, Magnus back down on the ground. Not a great score for him. He's going to be disappointed with that. He's already in 4th, which I believe means he's out of the final. I'm pretty sure we only take 3 through to the finals. I could be wrong. I don't know the Arco format, I'm afraid. And for the lead, that is. I wasn't entirely sure that we'd be covering the lead. We are. And so yes, I believe it's 3. I'll get that confirmed in a little while if I can, which means that Magnus is unfortunately already out. Mina, though, on the other hand, on the other side of the wall, as you can see, powering her way up to this top section. She's on the upper lip. Now, this is the bouldery section I was talking about. As long as she's calm and collected, there's some nice jugs here for her to move through. This next move, yep, nice and secure as well. Nice lean over again with the left. She's keeping the pace up here. And these next 3 are tricky, so she's got to take some time here. But this is what I said, you know, that nice section through the bouldering. She's moved very quick through the roof. She's got the shoulder power to get over that section. And 1 move away from the top. I thought we were going to see it there, but unfortunately not. Still a fantastic new high point. 10 moves ahead of Katarina Posch, roughly. She's on 48. And that is our new high point for the women's. 39. We're now going up to 48 as our new high point. Be happy with that one. And with not many athletes still yet to come, she's looking pretty good for making her way through to the finals. 4 more athletes yet to come. She needs a couple of them to fall a little bit lower than her, and she's in for a winner. So back down on the ground, we get ready to welcome our next athletes then. Dominik Skofic still holding the high point for the men's with the 44 plus. Mina Markovic 48 plus. So yeah, pretty much 10 moves ahead of Katarina Posch in the women's. Our next athletes out then are Kim Jae-in, who could definitely give Mina a run for her money here. And Kim Jae-in is going to be climbing at the same time as Sean McCall. A nice pairing here. We're going to see the technical prowess from Kim Jae-in coming through. We're going to see the power and control of Born on a Wall McCall. So those are our next 2 athletes. How's everyone doing? Let us know on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC.
Salutarvi perché siete fantastici, infiniti, come sempre. Uno mi sa che ha prenotato il posto, se lo terrà stretto fino a questa sera. Bravi, abbonato sempre un posto in prima fila.
That's another promotion for us in our competition, because we know there will be a lot of emotion more in our climbing up the mountain.
So a few moments now, we're going to be welcoming our next 2 athletes, as I mentioned, Sean McCall, Kim Jae-in, climbing here at the Arco RockMaster, the lead competition. We are here in the semi-final stage. Getting it kick-started now as we move towards these last few climbers. Not that it wasn't before, but we're looking at some of the greats here now. We've still got some more yet to come. Ramone yet to climb, Schubert yet to climb. It's going to get good.
Scorso anno, come nel 2010, nel 2011, tante vittorie, una seconda posizione finale, prima nel 2010 addirittura, seconda qui ad Arco nel mondiale del 2011, prima invece nel pre-event del 2010, insomma un'atleta questa coreana, classe 1988, che questi ultimi 5 stagioni ha fatto solo che una crescendo costante, veramente atleta da
So Sean with a quick start here as well then. We're looking at control, a lot of power, Good finger strength here. Keen boulderer. Saw him in the speed earlier today. It's going to be good to see him here. He could do very, very well on this one. Hopefully the bit of a technical switch over in the midsection shouldn't cause too much of a trouble for him. Kim Yain, on the other hand, we're going to see a nice, steady, slow, controlled climb. Grace, elegance. The only downfall for her could be going a little bit slow and using up a bit of her endurance. Not that it isn't exceptional to begin with.
Non molla mai, presente anche nel boulder, l'abbiamo visto nella lista poi dei grandi invitati nel boulder. Questa mattina si è concesso anche 2 corse.
Sean moving through that first little roof section with a lot of ease there. Next hole's a good one as well. As he moves over to the left, we'll probably see him resting for a moment, but he's not looking too pumped at the moment at all. No shake. But he'll probably take advantage of this erect position in a moment to shake out a little bit, grab a little bit more chalk. One of those guys that just chalks the entire hand when he gets onto a wall. He looks like a mime artist because he's just got these white hands as he gets up. Kim Jae-in, a little bit of a moment there. She had to get a bit of a higher grip with the left hand. She secured it. Up to the next one. Sean now, this is a good position for him to take a moment. Nope, straight up to the next. Oh, hold on. No, here we go. There's the rest. He's found a better position there. Get a bit more chalk. Here's the little rest for him.
Always fantastic to see him climbing in Arco. And Giant Kima, what to tell about her? The Korean climber, also good friends of the people of the RockMaster Climbing Stadium. Second place for all here in the World Championship 2012, winner of the RockMaster 2010. Actually the first place for all in the world ranking, the best of all. And mountains of podium, a collection of medals in the last years in the World Cup circuits. Now climbing once again in Arco, once again at RockMaster Festival. Giant Kima.
Sì, tanto va come sempre con il suo ritmo incalzante. Abbiamo detto prima, ognuno ha una sua strategia, una sua tattica di gara, soprattutto nell'onside, specialità che viene vissuta sempre nelle competizioni internazionali dagli atleti che quindi ben conoscono e ben sanno dosare, ma ognuno poi tipicizza la progressione come questa. Questa è tutta da McCall, devo dire, è un marchio tipico, questo guizzo, per andare là dove forse con i piedi piantati l'appiglio risultava un po' troppo lungo, ma non importa se mi manca qualche centimetro, ci arrivo dinamico. Come on, Sean!
Oh, really a fantastic show. The show organized by Sean McCall. Jumping and dancing up there under the waves in the first room of RockMaster. Taking only one hold if you want. And leaving the others and jumping. Once again, Sean McCall. Great show.
Come on! Sorriso e saluto, meritato applauso, Sean McCall.
Really fantastic the show for the RockMaster people from Sean McCall. Great dancer between the holds up. In the first position in our provisional ranking. And now, China Kima. One hold after the others, the dance of the Korean climber. And let's follow again, and still Giant Kima. The grace of the Korean climber, la grazia incredibile della climber coreana che maschera una incredibile forza, covering his incredible strength. Sulle punte come una danzatrice, Jaina Kima. Wow, fantastic again. E di sequenza movement, una sequenza straordinaria di movimenti, non nell'atti o nell'altro.
Di riposo Leina. Adesso c'è ancora un po' di azzurro da mettere sotto le mani.
Wow, so smooth and so strong. Così incredibilmente morbida, così incredibilmente forte. The last one for Jaina Kima. And again, people of RockMaster. Jaina Kima.
Coraggio per voi, Marco Costantino Castro. Dinamico con un sorriso in volo per rientrare in piedi a terra.
Well, as we mentioned a moment ago, she could definitely be one to challenge Mina Markovic, and she's just done just that. 48 plus for Mina Markovic, a 49 for Kim Jae-in, moving her into the first place spot. Incredible climb for her. Extremely graceful athlete, very controlled, very focused. Sean McCall with a new high point of 45 plus as well. So we are seeing our athletes now in the latter half of these starting to challenge some of the lower athletes that came through into the semis. Fantastic climbs from both of those athletes there. Our next two then, our next pairing to come out are going to be Mathilde Becerra for France and Jakob Schubert for Austria. So just to give you a rundown of exactly what's happening then, we are covering the semi-finals for you now for the lead. We've got 3 more climbers of each to come. After these next 2 athletes, there'll be 2 left in each. When that is wrapped up, we're going to be taking a break for a few hours. We're going to come back a little bit later on this evening. We'll be bringing you the speed finals and then also the lead finals later on today. So stay tuned, keep around YouTube if you can. Keep around all the official sites, the IFSC site. You can also join us on the Horizon site, 24/7 site. So keep your eye out for that one. Keep your eyes on the tweets as well. Direct from the IFSC. Let us know if you're liking what you're seeing. If you're liking the routes and things, you can do that with us online as well. But we're in for a long one today, guys. So go and get yourself some coffee, whatever you need. Settle yourself in. We've got a load more coverage to bring you today, and it's just starting to get exciting now. Here at Arco for the RockMaster and the Speed World Cup 2013 with the IFSC on IFSC TV.
Secondo a Chongqing e terzo a Toronto. Tanti podi, abbiamo citato quello forse ultimo e più importante, quello di Parigi lo scorso anno, quello del titolo mondiale, poi sempre podi in Coppa del Mondo 2012, ha chiuso in terza posizione. Ricordiamo anche l'europeo con la terza posizione nel 2012, una stagione quindi tutta da incoronare nel 2012, e adesso c'è questo 2013 tutto in salita per il giovane austriaco Jakob Schubert.
Jakob Schubert from Austria, doing very well. Second place for him.
So Mathilde Becerra on the right hand side, Jakob Schubert on the left. Jakob, our reigning world champion in lead climbing. moved around quite a bit on the world rankings recently, though. You got Sachiyama that's challenging him every step of the way, and Ramone has been on really good form so far this year. So between the three of them, they're battling it out for the first, second, and third place on the overall world rankings at the present moment in time. Still quite a bit of the lead season yet to come, though. Got loads coming up for you on the IFSC. Going over to Purs in Belgium pretty soon, and then over to Perm in Russia after that, and then we're going to go over to the Asian continent for a while, and we're going to go through Japan, Korea, and also China.
Ancora crescendo in quello che sono le competizioni, ma di certo la sua polivalenza, la sua grinta e determinazione. Ieri si è divertita ancora, andando forte nel boulder, e forse è proprio questo l'entusiasmo del non aspettarsi proprio così tanto, e poi quando tutto gira bene, ti trovi bene, la competizione piace, a volte si riesce a tirar fuori, come si suol dire, dal cilindro quello che forse nemmeno in allenamento ti saresti aspettata. Allora, forza Matilde, forza Jacob.
Competition, a surprise for us, winning in the Open, the place in this big half final. We see her also tomorrow in the Boulder final phases. A lot of podium for her in the Eurobike Series, in the Eurobike Cup. So fresh, surprise. In our RockMaster 5 for 2013, Matilde Becerra.
Mathilde there with an early fall on her route, moving over towards the arête on the right-hand side. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite hold it. Jakob Schubert, though, should be in for a good run. He's looking a bit hot and flustered at the moment, though, and he's starting to get a little bit pumped as well. You can see he's really utilising that rest over on the left-hand side. He's taking his time there, but he's definitely getting hot and flustered. Let's hope he's not too pumped as he continues here. He's got the technical side down. He does have the endurance, although he is kind of still in the bouldering mode at the moment. We've seen him be that way recently. Exceptionally strong lead climber, though, and we should hope to see him putting a good run in here at this route. We're still with him now. We're following him up the wall. A heel hook there with the left. He's got to get that foot over. There you go. Switching up with the right. Up to the next one. Switch over feet, and then bring the left foot up into that pocket before going up for the next one. Is he going to spot it? He's going for the clip. Definitely a little bit pumped now, Jakob. Straight up with the hands. We saw Magnus do this. Incredible effort there with his feet, using the wall itself for his footwork. First athlete that we've seen do that in a really successful format. He's starting to feel it now, you can see it. You can see the endurance, though, in this this athlete, Jakob Schubert, at this high level of competing. Nice undercling around that volume. Moving into a tough, overhung roof now, and not quite able to hold it, unfortunately falling down. You could see there he's getting hot and flustered, red in the face, and just a little bit out of it. Might be the afternoon heat, I'm not sure, but that currently puts him in 4th place, which means he's not in the top 3 at the moment. Still a couple more to come. It's looking like Jakob Schubert is now out of the final round. What about that for a turnaround?
Fakirianov, the new entry, questi due posti guadagnati all'Open come sconti, Dmitry Fakirianov in the first position of regional ranking for the female competition, Jackie Mina Markovic, Katarina Bosch. And we are ready?
Via un bel applauso per la nostra Jenny Lavarda. Insieme a lei, Giappone, Sashi Amma.
Our next two to challenge the wall then is Gianni Lavada of Italy. You're going to get a lot of support from the home crowd here for the female route, and the one to really watch out for, Sachi Amma, now out for the male route here. Let's see how he gets on with this. Definitely one to keep an eye on as we move through this competition. He's the guy that's challenging for the world rank #1 spot. He held it at the end of last year. Ramane's just taken it from him again. Let's see how he gets on as we move through this competition here.
Leading the World Cup Series 2030 with a victory means a second place in Brimstone and won also the World Cup Series 2012, third place in 2011. Starting with the first victory in the Youth Championship in Ibarra 2007. We have really done a lot of things, a lot of times on the first stage of the podiums, changing the World Cup, the world ranking. The leader, as we said, of the World Cup Series 2030. We know him also very well. We have seen it several times already in Arco. Sachi Amma from Japan.
E poi lì a destra è partita la nostra Jenny nazionale, anche 16esima nel World Ranking, 18esima nella Coppa del Mondo 2013, Jenny che conosciamo bene, atleta del sportivo forestale, pluricampionessa italiana nella disciplina Lead, come anche nell'ice climbing, anche lei fa parte della grande squadra degli atleti polivalenti che si dedicano a più specialità. Poi tante le sue presenze qui ad Arco, nel mondiale dei RockMaster, atleta che veramente
Sachi completely calm, collected. Nice slow start for him here. He's got the technical side of climbing down to a T as well, so he should be getting into some great positions as he moves up this wall, taking the advantage of all those footholds further up. He's had a hand or two at bouldering recently as well, not done too badly either. We saw him in Millau earlier this year. Jenny Lavada often tries the bouldering as well. She's under pressure here to perform well in front of her home crowd. And let's see how she does get on as she moves on to this next lip section now. She gets it. They're supporting her. Unfortunately, couldn't quite hold the next move on there. So Jenny Lavada is down. Sachi Amma still working his way up this point now. Just one more set of athletes to come after this one before we know who's going to be going through to the final later on this evening. Now, the speed finals are starting around about 7:15 local time to us. So we're going to be back just a little bit before that to say hello, see how you guys are all doing before bringing you the speed finals. And then we're straight on to the lead finals after that one as well. And then the presentation ceremony, which we'll be covering before having a bit of a chat to some of the winners, and then saying good night to you from Arco here today. So about 7:15 Central Time to us, CET. PM we'll be back with the speed final rounds. They're already down to 8 as well, remember, so it's going to be nice and quick. We did the 16 athletes down to 8, the first stage of the final rounds, straight after the qualifications earlier today. We're going to be following on from that one as we move through this comp. Sachi still taking his time here, taking advantage of the arete.
Poi ancora uno, poi ancora due, poi è iniziato podio, primi posti adesso. Poi la scorsa splendida stagione, primo nella Coppa del Mondo 2012, ricominciato il grande Wolvero alla Coppa del Mondo 2013, facendo capire agli altri atleti, io quest'anno ci sono un atleta da battere.
Nice control, getting through that section there. We've seen a lot of athletes having difficulties with that one. Sachi still looking good, taking time to shake out as he's moving as well. After that rest on the arete, he should be in a good shape to get towards the upper roof section here now. Can he hold this change now with the undercling over to the next hold? Yes, at the moment he can. This next move's a tricky one though, and yep, there we go. Unfortunately, Sachiyama down, which means it's looking good for the athletes that are still currently holding the top 2 rankings. They're going to be going through now. So Sean McCall and Domin Skofic are going to be in our final later on. Dmitry Fakirinov, unfortunately, just falling short, as is Jakob Schubert, as is Sachiyama. Ramone still to come. And it's Kim Yain and Mina Markovic in first and second slot at the moment in the women's. So Dimitri is in that shaky position at the moment. He's going to be hoping that Ramone has an early fall in this one, below 37, and that he can stay through to the finals. In the women's, it's Katarina Posch with 39, and it's all on her now as we bring out the last 2 athletes, Akio Noguchi and Ramon Julien Pouplanc. Those 2 athletes, high chance of making it through into the finals later on. The people in third place must be looking pretty shaky about now. So the one that's covering the athlete, stay on the athlete throughout the entire climb, the whole climb. If they fall early, it's great. Thank you.
Ricorda attualmente 12esima nel World Ranking e 10esima in Coppa del Mondo 2013. Buoni piazzamenti dal 2011, sempre lì davanti.
So Ramone next to Akio Noguchi. Akio Noguchi, predominantly a boulderer. Has she got the endurance to be able to put in a good performance here and make it through into the finals later on? Ramone, this is looking like it could be a good one for him. There's not too many massive reaches. He's one of the smallest athletes in the lead climbing. Very different style to Sachiyama, his chief competitor in lead at the moment. But just an incredible athlete, Ramone.
Take her at the first position in the overall rankings. From Japan, Akio Noguchi. And the last glider of the male half final is really the king of RockMaster. First position in 2005, 2006, 2007, 2009, 2010, 2012. Only a second position in 2008.
Ramone here then making his way up this first section of the wall. Now he's got a huge history here at the RockMaster, dating all the way back to 2005. He took gold in 2005, 6, 7, came silver, second place position in 2008, gold again in 2009, also gold in 2012. Fantastic history at the RockMaster here. Ramone's got a lot of support from the home crowd down on the ground as well. They love seeing him get up onto this wall. Every time he's come out, it will be an announced. They've made a lot of noise for him. So he's got the home crowd behind him.
infilarla nella catena e poi salutare il grande pubblico di arte. Lui che veramente scala con eleganza prima che tutta quell'infinita potenza che lo caratterizza. Sempre una bella poesia la sua salita. In questa struttura ha scritto tante poesie.
So Noguchi already in 7th place, moving to improve that score now as she carries on climbing here around to the arete. A lot of support from the crowd for both of these athletes. Ramoni taking a moment to assess the next few moves. Akio not really given that opportunity here at this stage. She gets a moment a little bit later on where she can have a bit of a better look up. Both athletes working the arete at the moment. Ramone really taking his time here. Venga from people behind me. Sending your support for these two athletes, do so on the Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. Remember as well, guys, to get yourselves over onto Facebook, www.facebook.com/sportclimbing2020. Give us a like on there. Find the IFSC's page as well on Facebook. Sending your support. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage and you've enjoyed the year so far, with there's plenty more yet to come. As I was mentioning, lead events alone that we've got coming up. We've got PERS in Belgium, then on to Perm in Russia, and then we're going over to the Asian continent for 2 weeks, where we'll be covering 3 events over there, which are Korea, 1 in Japan, and 1 in China. So Akio pushing into the roof section. Nice little turnaround there at the top, using the toe hook to get onto the next one. Not having to waste time with her shoulders there at all. Found a nice little beater around that block at the top. Now she's into a bit of a bouldery section. This should be good for her at the moment. This is her style. If she can take her time and control it. Bit of a big incline here at this stage though. And yep, you could tell when she went up for that next one that she just wasn't comfortable with the angle of the wall. Couldn't quite get a good enough grip on it. Great performance there though from her. Akio Noguchi coming back down to the ground. Great effort there from the athlete for Japan. Ramone currently sitting in 6th place. Looking good at the moment. Noguchi in 3rd. She's managed to make it through into the finals with a 41. Katarina Posch being knocked out. But these guys want to see a top now, and Ramone could be the man to give it to them. Again, taking a moment to grab a bit more chalk there, looking very confident on the wall as long as he doesn't slip here. Still not looking too pumped at the moment. Nice little walk over there at that point. Turning it into a drop knee, a horizontal drop knee here at this point, just to get a bit of extra purchase on the toe. These guys are loving this. I think he's moving up. Yes, he is in the final now. 3rd place, he is secured. Dmitry Fakirinov gets pushed down into 4th place. So he's already in, not that he knows it at the moment on the wall. Can he give us a top though? That's what we want to see. And he ties in the final then. He should be onto a winner. Ramone so strong. One hand there, the left hand, allowing him to get round onto the roof section. This is good. Another drop knee, putting the pressure on that right toe. Up round to the side again, managing up to the next hold. I believe this puts him in 1st place. Made it onto the triangle star, up to the next one. He's about 6 moves from the top here now, Ramone. He's in 1st place, currently around the 49th hold. Looking good so far, Ramone. Come on, Ramone, we want to see a top here. More cries of Venga. Looking a little bit more pumped now. A little bit shaky with the left hand. Crowd are right behind him though. Good switch over of the feet there. And he's still pushing. 5 more moves. Come on, Ravana, you got it in you. Nice, good purchase on that next hold. These next 3 are tricky though. Couldn't quite give it us, but what an incredible effort there from Ramon Julian Piblanc of Spain. Our champion. The people's champion of lead climbing, and as you can hear them now, they're raving about him here at the venue. They're loving it. Shaking their bells and making the noise. Two times world champion, 2 times European champion, Ramon Julian Piblanc moves through to the final in first place. So, for the women's, Kim Dain, Mina Markovic, Akio Noguchi are through for the women's. And for the men's, Ramon Julian Piblanc in first, Sean McCall in second, and Domen Skovic in third place, managing to hold on to that one, 44 plus. Those are our guys going through to the final.
So we have the 8 finalists in female and male in competition, and we call them here.
Incredible semi-finals here. What an effort from all of the athletes down here at the venue. They get a little bit of time to rest now before the finals later on this evening.
Starting in an hour, upper mastery. For the attempt, the walk on climbing the wall, vedremo dalle 15:30 per il loro lavoro sulle vie di arrampicata, per poi ritrovarli alle 20:30 nella prova afterwork.
Well, an incredible semi-finals there. We've taken our 11 athletes down for our finalists later on this evening then. We have those 3 surprise finalists in the men's, with Domen Skovic making it through in third place, Ramon up there as well, and Sean McCall also. In the women's, Kim Dain making it through, Mina Markovic as well. A fantastic performance from all of our athletes here at the venue. Thank you very much for being with us through the semi-finals. A brief break now for us, couple of hours, and we'll be back later on just after 7 o'clock, around about 10 past, to get things ready for our speed final and then our lead final. Here's hoping you can make it with us. We'll see you later on IFSC TV. See you later.